So I really hesitated to do this video more than most others. I do a lot of videos where I show Russian propaganda and explain what's going on, or I show the repeaters, the Scott Ritters, the Doug McGregors, and that kind of thing, and then I answer their accusations or assertions. And periodically, people will say, you shouldn't give them, this extra exposure. I think it's important for propaganda. I'm not sure it's important here, but I thought it was enough that needed to be explained that I was willing to do this about Elon Musk. Now, I've never had a problem with Elon Musk. He didn't register one way or another. He's for Tesla, but he's for SpaceX, but he's for Twitter, and it really, one way or another, it didn't move me either way. Some people love him, some people hate him, but it turns out that more people are starting to hate him than love him. And for different reasons, right? I mean, the Tesla crowd was in one political group and the Twitter crowd's in a different political group. And it's really interesting because it doesn't take a lot to tick off half the population and, be liked by half the population. It takes a whole lot to be liked by the whole population, and it takes even more to tick off the entire population. And that's kind of where Elon has gone here. Okay, so let's talk about Elon Musk. He recently put out this post, and part of it is he seems to want to provoke and troll. He's like a master troll. Like, Twitter is geared for somebody who likes to troll the world like he does. When it's been 5 minutes and you haven't asked for $1 billion in aid, and this is Zelensky's face superimposed over this, a photo of somebody that's like really upset and whatever, and why? Okay, so there's some background here, and there was some reaction to that post where other people superimposed Elon's face over that same picture as well. Now, let's roll back the clock. Elon Musk refused to enable Ukraine drone to attack the Russian fleet, and this came out about a month ago that we knew of. And then this was about events a year earlier, or almost a year earlier, where Starlink wouldn't operate over the Black Sea when there was going to be a drone strike on the Black Sea fleet, and it really foiled something that could have had a significant effect. And so that's kind of unfortunate. Now, before that, Musk was actually on kind of a Ukrainian side. It was really interesting. This is March 16th of 2022. Remember, the invasion only happened on February 24th of 2022. Now, early on in the war, Musk challenged Putin to single combat over Ukraine. He put out a tweet about this. "I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single combat, and the stakes are Ukraine," Musk said in the Twitter post. And Musk was looking like he was all in supporting Ukraine. He provided Starlink initially for free, but that was before he decided that he wasn't going to provide it anymore, or maybe he would, and then the U.S. government purchased it. But he was, pretty hardcore for Ukraine, challenging Putin to single combat. Of course, Musk's combat challenge to Putin prompted mockery in Russia. So there was a report. Elon Musk has been chatting up Putin while aiding Ukraine. So over time, he's gone from providing Starlink, challenging Putin, to softening his position, to now repeating Russian propaganda points, and it's really odd to have watched. Okay, I've highlighted a few of these that I want to cover here. Elon desperately wants the world to be saved, but only if he can be the one to save it. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told Faro, perfectly and perhaps inadvertently capturing Musk's narcissistic savior complex. There might be something to that. Musk agreed to set up a nationwide network of mobile internet terminals called Starlink. Nobody thought twice about the fact that Musk could also turn off access anytime that he felt like. At first, Musk's company, SpaceX, provided Starlink for free, but as the war dragged on, Musk began to press the Pentagon to start paying for the internet service. Okay, but we didn't really worry about that because, after all, the Pentagon could be paying for it, and he did save them in their hour of need. Okay. He advocated for the United States to negotiate with the Russian leader and tweeted a peace plan. Now that's where it started going squirrely. Or maybe that's not the point, but at that point you really knew that things were going squirrely. Like, that's not really a peace plan that's going to work. That's really Russian talking points. Reid Hoffman, who co-founded PayPal with Musk, said his former colleagues seemed to have bought what Putin was selling, hook, line, and sinker. U.S. and Ukrainian officials told a New Yorker that they believe that SpaceX had cut off the internet terminals in certain areas, including major battlefields. And they're relying on this for drones and surveillance and things along those lines. During a call in October 2022 with Colin Cahill, the Undersecretary for Defense Policy at the Pentagon, Musk said that he could see the entire war unfolding through Starlink activity. And he said this, quote, "This was like 3 minutes before he said, well, I had this great conversation with Putin." Huh? Had a great conversation with Putin? What's going on? In June, the Defense Department announced that it had reached a deal with SpaceX. It seems instead he wants to be the center of attention and maybe make a few bucks along the way. Well, I don't fault him for wanting to make a few bucks along the way. He met them in their hour of need, but something else is not right. Now, you can tell something's not right when Russian state media praises you as a great figure. So here is the Russian Media Monitor, and I periodically do these as just standalone episodes, but I want you to see what they're saying about Musk in this short 3-minute clip. It's really telling. Against the backdrop of American squabbles, the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk, who is now known as Elon Moskal, added more fuel to the fire, and Zelensky is aflame. The billionaire posted a well-known meme on his page, a suffering man whose veins are bulging from tension. Zelensky's face was photoshopped into the picture. And it says below, when it's been 5 minutes, and you haven't asked for $1 billion in aid. Now, that's really unfair to Zelensky. Zelensky's whole purpose, he is the person most positioned to supply his people with things by going to foreign dignitaries and asking for this weapon system or that humanitarian relief or whatever. That's his entire job. That and communicating why Ukraine matters. So this is what Zelensky needs to be doing. Other memes immediately surfaced. Here's Musk in a general's jacket. Like, that's pretty telling, right? And here's an outfit in the Black Sea Fleet. But that they're dressing him up in that way, or that other people are doing that in memes, that's really telling about where he stands. In Kyiv, a Tesla was seen with vulgar insults against the creator of the electric car, and they're fighting back as best that they can. In Ukraine, they propose writing the company's logo with the letter Z. Musk really has only one way out. Admit that he's on Russia's side. Well, he hasn't admitted that he's on Russia's side, but he's been acting this way surprisingly, and I can't understand exactly why. But he's been doing this for some time now, and finally cut off Ukraine's armed forces from access to his satellite Starlink. By the way, Musk just wrote a new post addressing all the Western propaganda. It's impossible not to notice that the West is getting sick, not only of Zelensky, but of Ukraine as a whole. Okay, now, so that's a standard kind of Russian talking point. The West is, how long will the West put up with Zelensky and that kind of thing? For constantly siphoning away their money. Elon Musk is magnificent. He is wonderful. Stop, full stop. When Russia is praising you because your actions line up well with what they're saying, it's time to check whether you're on the right side of things. Perhaps Elon Musk is really our agent. He published a popular meme about a beggar using Zelensky's face instead of that person. When it's been 5 minutes and you haven't asked for $1 billion in aid. This means that Musk shares the point of view against additional aid to Ukraine. Elon is proposing to use the freed up money to protect the U.S. border where he traveled wearing an exquisite hat. Our president's strategy turned out to be quite wise. Just a short while ago, the West seemed to be a consolidated and united front. Now that's really interesting because what's happening here is with Slovakia just going the wrong direction. So you had Hungary, now you have Slovakia, and if Poland breaks, that's going to be a huge feather in Putin's cap. I hope that doesn't happen. That was fighting against us. The consolidation keeps on fading. I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at here with Elon Musk dancing. That's just bizarre. But this is what they're showing. Maybe that's good dancing in Russia. I don't know. Okay, so that's just weird. But that they're showing this in glowing terms and praising Elon is telling you everything you need to know about where his words are and what side he's perceived to be on. Okay, so what's going on here? There was this interesting post on Twitter. I don't know who Pedro is, but I saw this and it said an explanatory model for this dangerous development, and shows Elon and Putin cutting up a cake. And I don't know that I fully agree with what I'm showing here, but I do think that there's something to this. Musk posted a 15-minute video from the Texas border. Why is he at the Texas border? I mean, I don't understand why he's involving himself with that. Not that it shouldn't be fixed, fix the border issue and move on with life. Behind this is a Russian strategy, which US and British strategists like Gerdes call a polycrisis. Now, this alone should be the topic of a video. A polycrisis is you're just creating so many problems, so many headaches everywhere that it's going to undo the sitting elected officials, and we're going to call in the other party because, or some other parties because, there's so much going wrong. An artificially amplified cascade of crises in the West, at the end of which the far-right authoritarian governments will come to power. Now, this is where it gets a little squirrely, and I'm not sure that this is reality, but he's now saying that Musk is participating in this because elites like super rich Musk want to eliminate bureaucracy that restricts their freedom and power too much so they can take over the world. And I'm not sure that that's exactly it. I do think that he is participating with Putin's rhetoric, but I can't figure out why. So, like, when I look at things like, okay, here, this is about getting clearance jobs, clearance in security for the United States. Want to fight insider threats? Just look for MICE. MICE is a standard acronym. MICE stands for money, ideology, compromise, and ego. When counterintelligence agents want to find out if somebody has gone wrong, they're looking at these 4 indicators. He doesn't need the money, but maybe his ideology has shifted some. Could he be compromised? I don't know. I'm not speculating. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that could be. But ego, well, he's got ego in spades. And remember the name of the article over here that was saying that Musk wants to save the world, right? He's been chatting up Putin. Why? Because he wants to save the world, like only if it can be saved by him. So that could be part of what's playing into this. I don't know. He posted this recently. I'm going to name my son Physics. Then I'll be the father of physics. Okay, that's kind of showing some ego. Here's Donald Trump. Raise your hand if you agree with Elon Musk saying stop funding Ukraine. What? I mean, to my knowledge, Musk wasn't a conservative, so what's going on here? Okay, and then this I found really telling. Musk posted this as well. Mainstream media and X is standing there, being in the breach. Okay, so what do we know from this? I don't know that we actually understand what Elon was trying to do or why he's doing it, but clearly it seems like he has drunk the Russian Kool-Aid and he's moved headlong that direction. I don't exactly know why, and I can't say that it's for this reason or for that reason or for another reason, but it's not good. He started out so promising, like providing Starlink, being very supportive of Ukraine, but here we are. Okay, that may very well be the last. I don't really want to talk about Musk anymore if I can avoid it. That may very well be my first and last discussion of Elon Musk. I really am concerned that what Musk really wants is just to be, it's like being a Kardashian. He just wants to be out there in the limelight, right? Yeah, it's frustrating. Please tell me what you think, because I don't actually know. I'm just providing the facts as I see them, and then, let's have a discussion. Okay? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. But thank you more than anything for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.